The following is a production of Dirty Mode Media. I don't know where to start. It's been a rough go. We've only been on air for about a minute so far. We had the professor couldn't find the lines. Trav's down. This official no Blue Mountains today, Trav. Trav has got the orange Thunderbolt. We're working some Gatorade.
Yep. We're hurting a little, but we're here.
Professor came in hot and was ready to talk about all the crap he took on the broadcast like we wanted to do that off air. Welcome to a podcast. That's going to happen on air. And if Tim's, you should be in your lake house. If you had all the picks that the professor gave you last week, that should have been a clean sweep. They're looking at the predictor.
No, we had a bad week.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know what happened. We did not. I felt like I was right with you, and I was like one pick off everything, I think. But
did you take?
Well, let's hear him. What? Yeah, let's start with the winner. Did you have the winner?
I live bet Denny, so I had that. But I didn't have him pre-race.
Okay.
I cashed
Hold
out
on,
Bowman.
let's start on Saturday. Did
Saturday?
you have Truex?
No, I didn't.
But I will say, to his defense, when the text came through, the odds were like plus 200.
Yeah, I just didn't bet the Xfinity race. I was again out and about, not paying attention. Races on, missed it.
You know what we're learning? We're learning the Xfinity race falls at a rough time for a single man.
Saturday's a tough day to bet. It's a tough day. I got to get up early to place these, and that's not a good combination.
Early, the race. What time was the race, Russ?
1:30.
That's not early, Tim.
Well, I mean,
Early? You get all cracky on that one. Early?
every minute spent is just getting ready to go out at that point. Like, I'm up, and there's not a minute to be wasted.
How long does it take to get ready?
Like 20.
That beard right there doesn't manicure itself,
exactly.
son.
You got to clean it up. Come on, Trav.
Hold on. Let's go.
Here's your moment, Professor. Go ahead and brag on the predictor. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let's go back to what on Friday is when I said take Truex in Xfinity race. It's a lock. So don't get this Saturday morning thing.
Well, Friday night I was out drinking tequila pineapples, and I don't know what I was. That led into Saturday morning.
We have a 36-hour blur here. We can't really.
Next thing you know, it's Saturday night, and
the last 36 hours are about as clear as the professor's camera.
So I'll go back to the predictor. You ready? 4 of the top 5 correct, all but our 24-second pit stop for Byron that caused him to be in the accident, with the winner, and 7 of the top 10. Lights out, buddy. Lights out.
So where did it go wrong, Timms? Where'd you lose money?
the Byron crash and the Bell crash hurt because I had them with Truex, Hamlin in like a top 10 parlay, and then I had Bell and Elliott in the top 10 parlay. So that kind of ruined 3 of them right there. And then I had Truex and Elliott to beat Larson head to head, and he finished second. They finished 3rd and 5th. So we were right there.
I can see where this got slippery. I can see where it got slippery.
So we were right there, just missed it.
You know what my new favorite bet is? Stage 1 matchups.
Really?
Yeah. Catch that
What
puppy
was that?
early.
What was that plate of horse manure you guys served me? What was that bet you said I should tell you on that I lost?
Was the hockey one that scored
Play a
1
baseball
goal?
game? Oh, yeah.
That's
Hammer
it.
the
That's
over.
hockey one. Let's talk the hockey one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what are you guys on? I don't know. I think I'm on this hockey game at over 6.5. So I said, I'll take it over 4.5, over 5.5, over 6.5. I'll have it 3 ways. If it doesn't get all the way to 6.5, I'll still call it a winner or a push even. They scored 1 goal. 1 goal.
The whole series was over. It was over 7. I mean,
Steve,
what a
I can do you
shootout.
one better. I had a parlay ruined because a player decided in the first quarter that he wanted to get into a fight. All I needed was like 8 rebounds out of Bobby Portis, and he decides to punch people. And my parlay's ruined.
It's a bad beat. We're going to have a bad beat segment.
Yeah.
How about some social? We get any love on social, Trav? Did anybody listen to the professor for some wins?
Well, a lot of people hammered Denny. I didn't pull him. I've been sick all week, so forgive me, people. But between Professor and Denny calling his shot, a lot of people seem to hammer him. So,
boom, 4-pick parlay. Holy smokes, this is blurred out. Hamlin, Chase, Bowman, and Noah Gragson. I'm hoping that was a top 10 bet, and he cashed with Noah. It was plus a lot. Good.
There
for
was
that,
one person
man.
that was literally betting like 50 cents, 25 cents, and I think cashed out with like $40 this past
Yeah.
weekend.
Or right here we got Max Betts. He cashed in on Alex Bowman top 10. We love that. We got a Denny Hamlin straight winner at a D-Light 6. Blake Harvey, he calls Tampa Timms straight up. Texas took his money. He couldn't bring himself to bet Dega, but the Monster Mile made it happen. He's up 40 units, and he sends us some pictures. Man, good for this guy.
He sends me picks every week. He's a group king. He gets them all the time.
That's what I was going to say. He's a group machine.
Yeah, he nails them. He nails the hard ones, too, like Group A.
All right, let's hear it. Predictor, fire.
Larson, Hamlin, Byron, no surprises. Then Truex, Reddick, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney.
That's all Group 1?
No, I think your Larson, Denny, and Byron is like a lock of the Group 1. Like it's mile.
I'm going to drop some knowledge, Professor. I did a little homework.
Go ahead.
7 of the last 9 Kansas races were Toyotas. I think the new Camry's even better. 3 of the last 4, 23-11. The one that wasn't 23-11 was Dennis James Hamlin.
Yep.
Hendrick won both mile and a halves this year, right?
Yep, that's why they're up
With Larson at Vegas and Chase at Texas. So this has got to be a Joe Gibbs Racing Hendrick Motorsports battle, right? Do we all agree on that?
100%.
Well, with a 23-11 mix in, they won 3 of the last 4 there. So I think it's
on 23-11. Let's lead. Let's lead with them. Reddick 8-1. And I'm looking for where's their other man? The Bubba is 15-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're telling you who they want you to pick.
That's the analysis I got. Hold on, back up. Someone download it on the phone, subscribe to Dirty Modo for a yep.
Okay, well, what do you want?
Yep. Something better than a yup.
Okay. Well, but so Reddick is your.
That's one more letter, but that's not any more information.
So Reddick won one in the spring or in September. One in September.
Okay, start again. Reddick won in the fall last year. The last time we were there, Reddick went to victory lane.
Correct. Then he was 9th in the other race.
I agree with 8-1. I think he's a favorite. Here's my gut question for you.
Yeah.
Can Bubba win?
He can win, but he's not going to.
Where do you have him in the predictor?
He is 9th in the predictor.
Okay, here's my real tough question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's got to beat Larson and Denny and Byron and Reddick and Chase. Like he's not. Like this is not easy.
Do you think that his mindset needs to be, I need to get a top 10 and get these DNFs out of the way and just get some good points and like don't go for broke?
Yeah, he's fallen out of playoffs.
I think he has to shake the mojo. I think he has to shake the bad mojo.
Yeah, I think if he's running top 5, he's not going to jeopardize a top 5 finish to go for the win.
So here's the pressure question, Timms, Professor. We have 2 Toyota drivers at 15-1. One of them has some career wins, Mr. Bubba Wallace. One has no career wins, Mr. Ty Gibbs. Do we like one over the other, or do we feel their odds are fair?
I like Bubba over Ty, but I think both their odds are pretty fair. I think Bubba's a little cheated a little bit because this is probably one of his best tracks, if not his best. There's actually some value on that.
I think they're hedging Gibbs awful hard. I mean, I think you're talking a guy with no wins. He's in the top 10 on odds. I mean, that's a stretch for me.
They've been doing it all year.
Yeah, I would take Bubba over Gibbs.
What's the head-to-head say?
Head-to-head has Bubba over Gibbs.
I think it's Bubba over Gibbs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Bubba has an easy path to victory. I agree with the solid analysis of Welp and Yup, the professor there, that I think it's a tough grind for Bubba to overcome the guys in front of him. I think it's possible, but I believe that his experience, you have to hedge him over Ty Gibbs. There's going to be a time where Ty Gibbs' resume may prove otherwise, but right now I'm not there. So let's tip top right at the front. Is Hamlin didn't call his shot again. So we have Larson, Hamlin, Reddick. How about it, Sickley? What did Hamlin say? Did he drop any knowledge on you?
Just that he felt confident, but he's not just going to sit there and call a shot all the time. The last
Which
time
I got to admit, that was impressive.
The last time he did it was 12 years ago, but this time he did it on his podcast, which is that's ballsy.
So Larson, Hamlin, Reddick, Byron, Truex, they all got to be the favorites. Do you get entertained enough for? I know you didn't take Ryan Truex because of low odds. Do you take any of these favorites because they're odds, or does it just?
No, I think. So last week I sat there on FanDuel and watched the cash out options for my winners go up or down.
Oh, please report.
I'm
ready.
So I cashed out on Alex Bowman, just for the record. He was 17-1. I had him, I think, and so he got. I saw the odds. He was only running second at the time, and I cashed out for a 2-unit profit. And I realized because I also had Byron and Truex.
Say that again. You cashed out for a 10, like a 1-to-1, 2-to-1?
2-to-1.
Okay, so you tripled or doubled
doubled
your
my
money. Tripled your money, really. You won 2 times your money. Yeah, okay.
And so, but I watched the Byron and Truex numbers not really move, not give me much because they were heavy favorites. So I think for this race, because the books are basically telling you what they think, that all these favorites, there's 7 drivers, under 10-1. I would wait until the very last possible second to bet a favorite. And that probably means stage 2 live. I wouldn't bet a single pre-race favorite.
Ooh, when you say last second, you mean green. You mean in the race.
I mean, listen, you're probably going to get plus 400, something like that. But look, I mean, they're all right. They're not much better than that. So I wouldn't waste my time betting these. I'd bet a long shot and see if you can get a cash out because that's more worth it.
I love everything you're telling me. Like I'd take a 700 down to 400 to prove he's in the show, to prove he's running good
100%.
that day. Let's just talk about how stacked they think the front of this field's going to be. 7 guys at less than 10-1. Then if I go just 7 more, we're talking 14 guys. We get to a 35-1. There are less than 20 guys under 100-1. 100-1. Like these are some they are basically ruling out any long shot winner. I mean, you can get 250-1 on a Priest, Johnson, Dillon. Dillon's won races before. I know. Yeah, I know. Don't even say it. I know.
He's not going to win another one.
I'm just saying this is the book's confidence in the front runners. I agree with it. So I would avoid all the longs. So let's talk about longs for a buyout. Who is a long shot that could have a buyout? Bubba Wallace at 22 or 15-1, maybe. Blaney at 22-1. Chastain 22-1. Let me know when your eyes twinkle there, Professor.
Well, I have a question.
Tier 2 Kurt Busch or
hold on.
Huh?
I have a question for Timms. How well do they need to be running to get a cash out option?
So I got Bowman when he was second or third in that stage 2 at the end, or when they were doing that pit cycle. So I and he was only 17-1. So I think if you're talking 22-1, even Blaney and Chastain, if they're running top 5, you can get a pretty good option. So yeah, but they're hedging against it being 22-1. That's a big payout if it hits. So they're willing to give you, a 2-unit profit so you don't make 8 units on them.
I love everything I'm hearing because I think, follow me here, Professor, and see if you disagree with any of these names. I think cars that will at times cycle to the top 5. Blaney, Chastain, Bowman maybe. Top 10 for sure, top 5 not sure. I don't know. Maybe an RFK car, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I like the odds on Keselowski, but it's a tall order.
I like Keselowski. But here's what we have this week we didn't have last week is we have some real top 10 wagers. Because there's so many favorites. So let's look at it this way. Larson, Hamlin, Reddick, Byron, Truex, Bell, Elliott, they're all monster top 10 favorites, and they should be. But as we saw with the Byron wreck last week after a slow pit stop, just because you deserve to run up there doesn't mean you will. So let's assume 2 of those guys F it up somehow. We don't really care how. Just welcome to racing. That leaves room for someone else. That's why I say that. So let's talk about the positive top 10 guys or even money top 10 guys. Joey Logano plus 125. Brad K plus 160. Buescher 2-1. Now, Gregson, he caught the caution last week. I don't think he could stay there. Briscoe, McDowell, Hocevar 3.5-1. I mean, I think I'm probably stopping there. There's no surprises, are there, Professor?
No, but I don't think you'd have to bet. You'd have to get lucky on these guys, on one of these guys, to make any money, because it just like you're gonna get one or two of these guys to not finish in the top 10, and you're gonna have to hit them. Like, I just don't see it. You're gonna have to get lucky. You're gonna have to bet with your heart on this one. There's none of these guys back here are like Chastain would be the one that I would put my money on.
This race a year ago had 37 lead changes for the most ever at a 1.5-mile track. It was an absolute show, chaos. It was awesome.
How many cautions did we get like last year to where we might have some people cycle up to the front?
So last year we had 9 and 11 cautions in the two races last year.
So you could see that happen.
But our 37 lead changes was enormous. So if you can,
Did Denny win a stage last week?
No.
You know what's funny? The last two races also at Dover, the guy who won a stage finished like second or third, and it was the same thing last week.
I will tell you this, number of lead changes at 19.5. Man, there ain't no damn way. 37 last year. How many other than last year?
So there were 19 in the fall race, and then before that it was
Really?
16 and 18. So there was just something about that May race last year.
People like betting the favorite, so I think we need to spend some time here. Even though I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I think it's going to be the Larson Hamlin. How about the stat? This was a shocking stat. 6 times Larson and Hamlin have finished 1-2. Never has Kyle Larson been the number one.
Yeah, if you're gonna bet a favorite pre-race, I do like Truex. If we're going back to that, just because, and it's a weird little trend. Reddick and Hamlin were the other two I liked pre-race. If they've won the last 2 weeks, I just think trends say they're not going to win 2 out of 3 or back to back. So take your shot with Truex, but I'm sticking with my strategy. I'm not betting a favorite until stage 2.
I like Willie B. Bounce back from the wreck.
It's not bad. I couldn't talk you off at any of them.
I mean, here's the thing. So many last lap passes. I mean, they're all going to be in the show. I mean, this one's going to be real. Let's find something we have a little more confidence on that we could talk to these people about. Do you love any of the long shot top 10s for a flyer? No, right? We're not going to put any of these guys.
I actually might take a minus top 10. I don't love it, but like a Bowman at minus 110, or like you said, a Blaney or Chastain minus 125. It's low enough juice that I would take that.
Okay, I'm with you. I like the top 10 window I have highlighted right there. Right? That is Blaney, Chastain, Busch, Bowman. They're like just a little bit of juice, somewhere between 110 and 125.
I'd feel very confident taking that.
What does your Kyle Busch Swami say over here?
I have him as he's going to be 14th.
I actually think that's a fair assessment. I think that's a fair assessment.
How about Kyle Busch? You gave me crap last week about putting him in tier 2.
Well, he was a tier 1 guy.
I know, but we've had him at tier 3 or 4 until Dover.
We? What, do you got a mouse in your pocket? We?
I'm going to celebrate. Hey, last week, Steve, I had 7 of the top 10 in my predictor model.
I mean, damn. How'd the prediction model? Oh, I was great.
Speaking of I thought you said we're going to win last week with Truex.
Man, I'm going to tell you. Talk about selective memory. You know what? The plus money matchups, I thought we had those called pretty well.
Larson screwed up a ton of them.
Yeah, Larson messed me up on a couple. The Buescher over Keselowski cashed. Chase over Seabell in stage 1 cashed. I think we broke even for me on the matchups.
Bubba Elliott. Bubba's the dog. I like Bubba as a dog. I think this should be even money between these two cars. I know Elliott won Texas, and that's what probably has swayed this. But Kansas is definitely not Texas. I think it's going to be a close matchup. I like him even more, so I would take Bubba as the dog at plus 105.
I agree. Bubba's track record here, that should be, yeah, like you said, even money, or he should even be the favorite. I don't agree with that. He's the underdog.
Truex and Byron, no chance. Reddick Bell.
I
think Reddick's going to outrun.
Bell either wins
Bell
or
has been
wrecks.
awesome.
Huh?
Bell has been 17th or worse in the last 4 races.
Woo!
He's been 34th or worse in 3 of the last 4.
So are you willing to stake a flag in it and say you're fading Bell?
Well, based on recent results, I would.
He's a streaky guy. I mean, he either really messes up or he does really well. He's almost like a Larson, except he doesn't really win as much.
Which is a problem. I'm like a lot like Scotty Schechter, except I just, because I have a bad footwork, except I don't win as much.
True.
All right, let's talk. All right, so I said we're going to avoid the Reddick Bell. I mean, the numbers would say Reddick at minus 130. So if you want to play a little juice, fine. Hamlin, Larson, I'm avoiding. There's no chance I'm digging into that. So let's get down to some other ones. Bowman Chastain, I think, is very interesting. Earlier in the year, this would have been a lock Chastain. But our man, Alex B., the B-man, has worked his way back into the good graces. He's run well. He's been consistent.
But not on mile and a halves.
So you'd say Chastain over Bowman.
Yes, he was 18th and 37th this year. His last top 10 was here last September on a mile and a half.
I love it. Kez over Busher. Why do I think this is an absolute lock for Keselowski? Because you're going to tell me Busher doesn't run well on the mile and a halves?
Yes. And on mile and a half tracks, all the numbers point to Kez. For the last
I like that.
Been better.
That actually might be my bet. That might be my bet of the week. RFK, Kez over Bush. The Busher. Kez over Busher.
Races this year on mile and a halves.
Huh?
He's bested him on both races on mile and a halves this year.
Give me every next-gen mile and a half. I think the numbers are going to absolutely be outstanding. Here you go, Timms. This is the one you want to write down. Pay the juice and win the bet.
So Keselowski's been better than Busher in 9 of the 16 races on mile and a half in the next-gen car.
Really? I would have said it was more. I still love it. Kez over Busher. Write it down. That's a bet we'll remember.
Oh, yeah.
Truex and Byron, I'm sorry, but I'm taking Byron at plus 115. There ain't no way, no how. I'm taking, write this down. There is no way, no how, at any point, Denny Hamlin or William Byron, if they get to plus 115, unless it's against one another, I'm betting them. They're the 2 fastest cars. Fastest might not even be let me retract that because we don't bet on speed. They're the 2 best finishing cars. A lot. I love you can't. I mean, Byron at plus 115. I mean, listen. I think Truex is going to be great. Truex could win the race. I think Truex is going to have to damn well about win the race to beat Byron.
That's when if you lose, you just say, "Well, you got."
This is a numbers game. This is a numbers game. These right here should be like a minus 110, minus 110, minus 120, minus 120. There's no way Truex should be an absolute hammer favorite over Byron. The instant short-term curve says Byron is right there. What I think is funny is if you look at the win, Byron is a dang lower odds to win the race.
That's almost telling you something.
Hamlin and Larson, you can bet it if you hate one another, but I'm avoiding that magnet because they're going to be running next to each other. There's no telling what could happen. Group bets,
Yeah.
we'd have to go on Twitter.
Follow
I am
Blake
no
Harvey
group
guy.
Bets, but. Now, we did win our fade Ford Dover bet to win. Remember, we talked just pay the juice because we had a Ford and a Chevy 1-2. Excuse me, back that up. A Toyota and a Chevy won too.
This week they're not even offering Ford versus the other books, at least the other manufacturers, at least right now.
Yeah, there's a reason. Ford's only won one of the last 9 races at Kansas, one of the last 10 on a mile and a half.
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm trying to find something courageous. Top Chevy, top Toyota, top Ford. Nothing. I don't like any of it. Winning team. 23-11 at 5-1. I don't think I would do it.
You would just take both of the drivers individually, right?
Here's what I would do. If I was going to put a unit on 23-11 at 5-1, I would put 3/4 of a unit on Reddick and a 1/4 unit on Bubba, and I would shade my wager. Like I don't want to eliminate Bubba. But just follow me. If you put a unit on 23-11 at 5-1 and you won the race, you won 5 units, right? Everybody agrees on my math. If you put a 1/4 unit on Bubba and he wins the race, you win basically 3 units, just a touch under. Oh, no, just a touch over. Just a touch over 3 units, and I'm okay with that. But my 3/4 units on Reddick win 6 of them. See, I like that better. Like, I would hedge my Reddick wager better. I want more action on Reddick. So I wouldn't take 23-11 at 5-1. It dilutes my odds. Now, if there was a coin flip, I would take it. But it's not a coin flip. Triple top 10s. After what happened to you last week, I'm a little scared.
There's one I like. It's just Reddick, Truex, Byron, because it's besides Hamlin, Truex, Byron, which I would even take that at plus 180, plus 165 of those I just like, but I don't know. I am gun shy about those this week.
I thought you'd be gun shy.
I don't think he'll crash 2 weeks in a row, though. Yep, there it is. There it is.
Can't wait to bring those words back next week.
I can't even say. Now on the pod, it's me, Trav Professor, and Rick Tampa Timms Allen. There are some interesting double top 10 odds here. Bowman Chastain at plus 340 is an interesting one. Yeah. Now they're going to be right there. They're going to run like 6th to 13th. Where does the predictor have them?
8th and 10th.
So the predictor has both in the top 10 at a plus 340. That is worth a little bit of an entertaining wing and a prayer. Take a little of your Korean baseball money. Like, don't use your hockey playoff money, but a little of your Korean baseball money and just peel off the Bears and sling a little over there on the Bowman Chastain plus 340.
It's going to be a sweat all race. They might fall to 12th.
Or the sweat could end quick. But I agree. I think it's going to be a final restart. 1 in row 4, 1 in row 6. And you're the guy looking at the ticker. Every time it scrolls, your eyes just keep getting bigger. Like it actually might be a second screen experience for you. You might have to go to NASCAR.com so you can really focus on these 2 cars. Because I think they're going to be just out of frame.
Tampa Timms bet without something like this, an absolute sweater to make or break the day.
I love that. I love it. That's the tale of the week, guys. If you want to tail Tampa Timms, make sure you're tailing him on Twitter. Now listen, let me be clear. This is a little bit of a long shot. Don't be putting your beer money on there. Put next week's beer money on there. That gives you 7 days to make it up if you lose. Double top 10s, Bubba and Elliott. Hamlin Bubba, Hamlin Elliott, Hamlin Bell, Hamlin Truex, Hamlin Reddick. Holy smokes. Man.
Just too much juice.
Man, a lot of juice. I like Reddick Byron at even money. Truex Bubba even money, plus money. Drivers to lead a lap over under 10. I mean, that's a lot of leaders.
Yeah, that's right about what we've averaged.
Oh, I know. You sent them the damn information.
Oof.
It's at 11.
Wait a second. Didn't we have some finishing position over-unders last week?
McDowell's hit. But they took it off. They took it off.
As an over.
I tried to bet Sunday morning, and I couldn't bet.
We crashed it.
So,
well, I'm going to tell you right now, McDowell at over under 21.5 is an over all day, 6 ways from Sunday. Give us the stats, Professor. When's the last time McDowell ran inside the top 20?
Period or on a mile and a half?
Let's start with period. But I mean mile and a half.
The last time was... Woo! Bristol.
Yeah, okay. That's not good. Now 1.5 miles. I hate to pick on a guy because I like Mike McDowell, and I like this team, and I like to cheer for him. But we're not on here to make friends. We're on here to make bets, and I have to say this is an over.
Las Vegas last fall. He was 25th and 35th in the 2.5 miles this year.
Listen, man, they're great at the road courses. I like them in some of the oddballs. Their 1.5 miles is not there, guys. It's over.
Would you move this to your hammer of the week?
It's right up there. It's right up there. Reddick, I don't like the 5.5. I think it's an under at plus money, but so much can go wrong. I don't like that. The Kez at 13th. Man, I hate to say it, but man, that's gonna be a Tampa Timms sweat job right there because he's gonna be right somewhere around 12th or 14th. Like my gut says under, but the numbers probably disagree. The numbers are gonna tell me that's a great line.
It's a really good line.
What about Suarez at 16.5?
That's another really good one.
He hasn't ran well since Atlanta, it feels like.
Suarez is just, look,
But
I feel like
his last 3 races at Kansas are 16th, 15th, 10th. And then 33rd in that 4th. But this year, I don't know. I might lean under. This bet would have paid in the last 5.5 mile races.
well, that's the under then. Working with the professor is like a deposition. You just have to give a nice awkward pause and more information comes out. It's yes, no, I don't recall, and just stop talking for a while and he'll keep giving you more stuff.
Trying to find the numbers for us.
I like it. I like a guy that's elbow deep in the numbers. All right, let's get a little rundown here. Do we have to round these things up? What do we got? What are we loving? Where are you at, Tampa? Give us your bet sheet. I see your pencil over there. What do you like for the week?
If I was to bet a long shot to win, I kind of like Bowman. I don't know. He's the last HMS car to win. I think this could be it. Or we cash out.
I don't disagree. I like it. Here's why I like it. Let me give this scenario. Runs good all day. Top 6 or 7. Good pit stop. Short run. Gets the restart right. They get a little jammed up off 2, and he makes a big sweeping 3-wide pass down the backstretch like Reddick did.
And also, we're playing for the cash out, so you just got to run up there. And then I do like him top 10. That's probably my favorite bet on the board, him top 10. And then we got Keselowski over Buescher, and the Byron over Truex matchups so far. And McDowell over 21.5. That's for sure on the bet sheet.
And I like your Hocevar plus 350 long shot top 10. I don't know if I'm on board the top 10, but I am on board if you get him in any sort of matchups with guys down with him on there. He's coming off like 3 or 4 top something 17s or 18s in a row. He's the highlight Aspire at the moment. He's the best of the 3 cars they run out of there. I like the kid. I like Hocevar. I think he has some pretty good overall pace.
Let's also give him credit. They got the All-Star voting going on, and he went and
A+.
had some of the other drivers do cameos.
Yeah, of course, Austin
and say
Dillon
good
was in
luck to
that.
Carson.
Oh, of course,
Well
Austin
done.
Dillon falls for that trick.
You-
Dumb. Yeah, I already voted for him after that.
I love. What else we betting this week?
Kentucky Derby.
Let's talk a little difference between horse racing and car racing. Little betting synopsis here. Betting 101. Here you go. When you bet on the winner in NASCAR at any time, you get paid at the odds in which you bet. So while you bet that winner, if he is early in the week and he's 10-1, regardless of how the odds change, you get paid out at what your ticket says. You bet $1, you get paid 10. That's how NASCAR racing works. Horse racing is pari-mutuel. That is not how it works. Horse racing, you get paid on the odds of the horse at post time. Let me explain that. If you bet him 10-1, 3 guys fall out, and your guy all of a sudden is the absolute favorite, and he shoots off at 2-1, you're only getting paid $2 on your money. You are not getting paid 10-1. This is pari-mutuel betting. That's not how it works. Should we talk about what it means to box an exacta or box a trifecta? Should we talk about that? So when you bet a trifecta, you're talking about first, second, and third in order. In order. And if you box it, then you wager it in every order that it can finish. So if you say horse 1, 2, and 3 in a trifecta for $5, that's just a $5 bet. But if you say I want to box the 1, 2, 3 trifecta, then you get 1, 2, 3. You get 1, 3, 2. You get them in every single order. So you have to pay a multiple of the money. That's why the bet's more money. An exacta would be, there's all kinds of different bets. That's what I'll tell you. The old trifecta box. Who doesn't like the trifecta box, man? That's like the just throw some. All I know is here's what I'll tell you about horse racing. Here's my lesson. Went to a horse race in, you know where it was? It was actually Pocono. We were at Pocono Downs. We rolled at Pocono Downs. I'm about 25 years old. I don't know what I'm doing, Tim's. Sounds exciting. So we go there for a night on the town. We go in there, and we're like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna bet. Okay, and I don't have a lot of money. Like, this is back when we were counting top ramen. We were in the very minimal financing situation. And I roll over there, and I'm like, I want to bet a trifecta box. And the guy was like, all right, yeah, no problem. How much you want to put on it? And I was thinking, well, hold on. I was going to put this in here to make sure I get the story correct. So I said, yeah, I'll do a trifecta box. I think it's $10. I'll do it $10. And I was thinking, like, I wanted to bet $10 total. And I got the trifecta box. And next thing I know, this son of a gun cost me like, man, I don't remember what it was, but it was a dang lot. Here, hold on, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what it cost me. $60. That's why there's 6 ways in a trifecta box. I went up there with like $20. I'm like, I'll do a trifecta box, $10, please. And I thought it was going to be like a $1 bet, 6 ways. I only have $10 a budget. He asked for $60. That was a scary moment for me. I went back to drinking water. I couldn't even afford my Miller Lite.
Did you win?
No, if I'd have won, I'd be a horse better. I'm going to tell you right now, though, it's not the Derby that I love. It's the last grass race on the inside pre-Derby. Now, you got to remember, the Kentucky Derby.
It's all day.
It's all day. It's all day.
It's Friday, right?
Oh, that's the Oaks Day. Not that I know. Not that I'm betting much. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Nah.
Have you been, Steve?
Nah. Not that me and Chopper already have pre-ordered pizza on the big screen for Saturday when we watch the Derby. All right, bettors. We got a big weekend. We got NASCAR Kansas. We got Kentucky Derby. We would give you picks, but we don't know. So we're not even going to bore you with thinking what we're going to do. We're going to absolutely just guess on the Kentucky Derby and have a great time.
Yeah.
Huh?
We're going to blind pick the Derby.
Yeah, let's be honest. If you actually, here's the thing. You want a Derby guy, go find Steve Kornacki. Love the guy. He's been a guest before. He is a great dude. He'll be firing on the board. He's a great guy.
Chris Felica, there's another name. Go listen to those people. They actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, you know who doesn't know anything about horse racing? The 4 idiots on here. Now racing, we're going to take a little bit of credit. We can't help that Tampa Timms doesn't listen.
I'm listening to the professor this week. He's going to turn my luck around.
It was a little like Chopper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the professor has spoken. Get all your bets in, and may all your bets pay off.